Have the healing service right there.
Yeah.
Oh. Being reminded of who and what we are is always such a great gift.
Sorry.
Is there a way you can turn that off? Thank you. So I want to start with light this morning. The essence of what we are and what happens to that light. We talk about the light within and meditation, our prayer, our healing to get the light. But when we talk about healing, what does the light within really mean? What is it? It's really a gauge of how connected we are to Source. It has like a technical way of working. So we're birthed and we come in with this blueprint from Source, and we come in with this connection that's there, that satisfies our hunger, satisfies our thirst. This strong, think of a strong beam of light coming down, like you see in the science fiction movies, you know, where they're going to beam you up. So we've got this light that is ours, that's in us. And what happens? We get in the womb and things start happening. We hear what's going on around us. We start making decisions. Are we going to live? Are we going to eat? Is my heart going to beat? All of these things start happening then. And this isn't even a discussion about when you think the soul goes into the body. This is about the physical body and the decisions that are made for how that body is going to be. So right then, we're starting a separation because we're making decisions that mean that we don't believe that everything's okay. We don't trust in the light that's within us. So think of our light as a dimmer switch. We come out into the world, and the way most of us were birthed, you got slapped on the bottom, you got this stuff put in your eyes, and you came out into this cold, stark room with all of this light and equipment and people in masks, and you're supposed to feel like safe and okay about being here. So again, these things happen that make us feel unsafe, that create fear, that make us worry about what's going on. You know, you have this dim memory maybe that things were supposed to be loving, and you remember coming maybe from this loving place, and all of a sudden it's not around you anymore. So all of these things keep happening as you grow up. You have the trials and travails of growing up. You have the things that happened in life. You were in accidents, you were in marriages, you were in divorces, you were in love, you had broken hearts, you went to war, you flunked school. And then on the other side, you had all the wonderful things too. But all the negative things dimmed that light a little bit more. So what it's doing, it's like when Jenny talked about stepping on the hose and cutting off your flow. It's cutting off your flow. So when we're talking about healing, we're talking about a oneness with God. Coming back to the full totality, or as close as we can get to that, having our connection again. So we talk about healing, we talk about meditation, we talk about classes, we talk about self-monitoring, we talk about dealing with our emotions, we talk about managing our emotions. All of these different things are basically a tool to bring your light, turn your dimmer switch the other way so the light goes back up again, and our connection is once again strong. So it has not only a spiritual impact when we talk about these things, they have emotional, mental, and physical impacts too. They're very important. We focus on healing because we want the things, like Patty said, we want peace in the world. We want people to stop killing each other. We want these shootings and the terrorist attacks and everything to stop. But have we stopped it within ourselves? Are we still abusing ourselves by telling ourselves we're not good enough, we didn't do that right, you have second thoughts about everything you do? You look in the mirror and think you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're old, or you're gray, or you go to speak or talk at a class and you're not sure you're doing very well. You go out on a date and you're worried about what's he going to think, or what's she going to think, and how am I dressed and how am I acting? How am I out in public? You wake up in the morning and you don't want to get out of bed. All of these wars are going on inside of us daily. I I don't know anyone that doesn't have a war going on inside in some shape or manner or some degree. I think that if we completely got over them, we'd be out of here. But that is our goal. Our goal is to be balanced and centered, to have our light on as full as we can possibly have it, to be in the now, to have this flow, to be connected, to be this shining beacon, a balanced, peaceful, loving light. So the third component we were talking about this month is coming from the heart, coming from love. The more that the light is connected to source, the more love we are going to be able to have, to share, and to work with. It's all tools for us. These tools, all of that is free. But we have to first accept that it's true, that it's there, trust that it's true, and we have to give ourselves permission to be okay with that, to be okay with risking again, no matter how many times you've been hurt, to risk again and to love and to not close down and turn your light off, to not become brittle and dry. When we look at the drought, think of that as yourself. Because when we shut ourselves down, we are in a drought situation. We have closed down. We're not getting our thirst satisfied. We're not getting our flow from source. Think of consciousness as water. We're not being fed that way. So we are having a drought within ourselves. This is another part of what healing is about. Because we are so important. We are beloved children of a loving parent. We are magnificent. We deserve perfect healing, perfect love, a beautiful life. And it deals with perception. You're still going to have ups and downs. But when you're in the now, you navigate those ups and downs. You're in a flow that makes it happen. I'll give you a prime example of flow. It happened just this morning. Reverend Joanna gifted us with a bunch of books that we took a whole lot of them out of it and put in our library at the office. The ones that we didn't think we needed in the library, we were putting out here and offering to everybody for free. So please check it out. Kent comes up and is talking about how he's on the committees at the library, and when they have books that they don't sell, he takes them down to Madera or Fresno or somewhere. So he's going down tomorrow. So the books that we don't give away today, he's taking down to give to somebody else tomorrow. He's got room in his vehicle. We've got the box out there to put him in. Nobody worries. You see how Spirit brings everybody together? We're flowing as a team. This is what we want in our lives and in our bodies. We want to make a team out of our different parts. Our spirit, mind, emotional, and physical. We want them on the same team instead of fighting, so that they negotiate and come out with a win-win situation. So it's no longer, life sucks, so I'm going to self-medicate through medication or drugs or something like that, or food, or over-exercising, or whatever it could possibly be. They're going to say, okay, you're having a bad day. What do you need today? And how can we all work and negotiate to make it better? To give yourself permission to have peace inside of you. To give, excuse me, yourself permission to say, I am worth it. I am magnificent. And if you don't believe it, you fake it till you make it. You say it over and over. It's an affirmative dialogue. You talk to yourself. Okay, I'm not feeling that right now, but I know it's a potential because I've seen it in other people, and I know I can have that too. So you keep doing things like meditation, or prayer work, or talking to friends, or making changes in your life. You're not eating healthy? Do one thing at a time. Maybe you don't have to do it 100% at a time, but maybe it's pushing one dessert away, or not having that extra latte or a frappuccino at Starbucks, or maybe it's just walking around the house. Some little thing that will build on itself. We have strength. Every one of us has strength. We each have perseverance and resilience, or we would not be here today. We would have given up. So there's something inside of us that no matter where we are, keeps us going, keeps us hanging in, keeps us trying to work within this world to be who and what we want. To remember our dreams and our goals and what we wanted. It's never too late. It isn't. To have one moment of peace is worth it. If you don't have the insight until you're passing over, you have the insight. That's a gift to yourself. And if you hadn't done everything that you had done in your lifetime, you would not have had that moment. We go to work. We work to get money. We go to school. We go to school to get good grades, to learn more, to have a career, to work, to get money. We have all of these things that we work very hard at. We want a beautiful garden, we'll work at it. We want a beautiful church, we've worked at it. Do we work that hard to have the life that we want, to be the loving being that we want, to have peace inside? It's beautiful what you said this morning, but you know, it takes effort. It takes effort. To be able to give yourself permission to allow it, to take the moments that it takes. Meditation is a gift. Silence is a gift. Sitting in the now is a gift of peace, a gift of unconditional love. Do you let yourself have that gift? You would want it for those around. When we come together in the healing circle, we want healing for everybody. We want to give our voice and our love and our hearts to help everybody else. Do we help ourselves? Do we accept it? When we're in that circle and we hear somebody else praying, do we say to ourselves, and I accept that for me? I allow myself to have that? I give myself that gift? Am I important enough to do it? Or do I do this humble thing where, no, I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve it, or I haven't paid enough? You know, humble's on the same continuum with arrogance. It's just arrogance in a different form. And arrogance is humble in a different form. We want that balance in the middle, where our dimmer switch is up, our heart is flowing, we're fully connected to Source. Anything is possible then, and we are worth it. And it's not the same for all of us. That's why we say don't judge. We're each at a different point on our path. We're each working on something entirely different from the person next to you. But you know something? We're all equal. We're all equal. No one's further along than you. No one is doing it harder or lesser or any of that. We don't compare ourselves because we're not the God. We're not the one that's in charge of their path. We're only in charge of us. So, things are going on in the world. Yeah. What can we do? We can heal ourselves and we can love. Because if you want peace for the world, you got to feel it inside of you. When you're in a meditation,